afternoon. How are all of you? I'm going on my walk with my daughter, and we are enjoying. Usually we go for a walk like kind of like 30 minutes before it's about to get dark, and I like start evening time. If you are waiting for your God ordained spouse to come back, and you've been going through it, like you've been praying, you've been, fasting, you've been watching tons of videos. Let me tell you something now that I'm kind of on the other side of things. You need to really find yourself again, because, Yuan's been coming around again, and slowly, and yeah, we went through some spiritual attacks, like the devil's very real, guys, and wants to break up your relationship. But when God brings two people together, it can't be separated. It can be, but it won't be permanently separated. Your prayers do prevail, but you can't be the same person when they come back around. You can't be as angry and bitter. You can't, be spending your money all willy-nilly. You can't be, angry. You can't be this. I mean, you can, but like, why would you want to be that way? I joined this prayer group a few months back when it was really hard between the two of us. This was when like I was really needy and like so terrible. And this is before Yuan, came back around. And this prayer group was all focused on the other person and him. And prayers are great. Like praying for the things that have spiritually affected your relationship is wonderful. But, I left that prayer group because all these women were doing is praying about this guy. They weren't talking about, and it was almost like robotic. And they weren't talking about having other parts of their life, improving other parts of their life. Any person that leaves your life, whether it's an ex or like, because even before I was with Yuan, I had other people I had dated, but it's not the same. Even people I hadn't dated that I basically went on one date with, they always come back around, and I just became a better version of myself and they came back around. But a lot of these coaches and people are going to hold you, and this is no fault against theirs, but are going to hold you and hold you and hold you and make you think that you need to do all these different things to get them back. And prayer is important, but like, guys, you have to have another life. You can't just keep only focusing on your God ordained person. Like, you can't just focus on your husband and your wife. That's a very unhealthy marriage if all you guys are doing is focusing on each other. That's called codependency. You need to be codependent on God and yourself. It's you, it's God, it's you, and then it's you and your spouse, and then it's everybody else. But before your spouse, you were. And you probably did a lot of different things when you and your spouse met. Like when I met Yuan, I was very hyper independent, which was good and bad in some ways, but I was really into improving myself, doing things that made me feel good. I wasn't even having sex. I was having a good life. That's how Yuan met me, and I lost that in the middle of our relationship because we were so focused on each other, and of course we had these financial attacks. We couldn't do anything, and I lost a lot of that. And I'm telling you, every time when Yuan started to come around, when I would start dancing in my apartment, or I was out doing my thing, like I live in Chicago and I went to Millennium Park for this thing, he started calling me, and then I went to Minnesota. This is when he really started to come around, like last month. I was not doing manipulation techniques. I was literally just living my life and doing things that felt good. And last month I went to Minnesota, and this man basically wasn't contacting me or Catalea, because we have a daughter together and we love her. And I'm gonna stop looking at the camera for a second because I'm crossing the street. Hold on a second. I'm drinking vitamin water because that's really good. But we went to Minnesota, and this man was blowing my phone up, trying to figure out what was going on. He started asking me where I was, and he was just because the love never leaves. When you are in a beautiful relationship with somebody where and let me tell you this as from a social worker. Like, I work with many couples and families, and I had to do marital sessions when I was working at a pregnancy center for people that were having trouble with their pregnancy, and they always loved each other. It's just that they had conflict, you know, or life came in the way. But when two people love each other, like when it's the love that God has, when two people love each other, it's a big thing. But when two people are supposed to be together because God brought them together, it's a whole other thing. The love won't leave. But so all those different, you know, toxic techniques that you want to do, like, they're not going to matter. But one thing I want to say is that a man needs to feel needed in your life. And if you make this man, because men are providers, if you keep making this man your whole world, and you don't have your own life, and it's all about them, what can they do for you? Like, what's their relevance? Like, a man likes, think about, like, okay, so for example, I'm looking at these ducks here on outside on the lake, right? Male ducks look from afar to a female duck and they go after them because they want that. Now, and they like the chase. Like, ducks literally swim after each other. I was wondering about this one time, and I was at the zoo, and the zoologist told me, he's like, you wonder why the ducks run after each other. It's because they like the men chase after the women in the water. They do that. So if you're literally just being with the guy and not giving him anything to chase after, and not having your own life, like, what do you expect the guy to do? You're not gonna be as attractive. And this is even outside of God ordained relationships. Like, you have to be attractive to your spouse. Just because you're in a marriage that God has ordained doesn't mean that you lose attraction, which means that you have to start doing things that are outside of your spouse. You have to do things that you enjoy doing, you know? You need to become more of the person that you were before you guys separated. You know, a better version, a more holy, sanctified version, but like doing things that make you attractive. You know, I taught Zumba classes, like 9 Zumba classes before I met Yohan. I stopped doing all those things when we met because we had Catholic and I couldn't teach and there was no childcare. But like, I stopped enjoying just dancing around my apartment. When I was really down, I would sit and be like, oh my gosh, and it's fine, like, to be in your feelings, but like, you have to eventually get up and be like, wait, I'm really attractive and really, you know, sexy and these things, and like, my spouse can't see me if I'm not, if I'm always in his face, like right here, and I'm not far off, he can't see me. Like, I can't see my phone if it's this close to me as clearly as if I put it here and I'm kind of like observing to see what's going on in there. Like, you want your spouse to find you attractive, so get on mission with the things that make you feel good. Like, it doesn't have to be something super big. Yes, God calls you something, start doing that, but also just start doing small things like going on walks, guys. Like, I go on walks all the time with Katzalea because it makes me feel good. Yohan and I are reconciling, but we're not back together yet, and I'm not going to be sad about that because I know what I know. But like, I'm going to do things that make me feel good. I'm getting back into working out. I'm getting back into shape. I'm educating myself on videos instead of watching constant videos about kingdom spouses and get your ex. Like, I'm not going to watch those things anymore. You know, I'm learning about finances. I'm learning about my personality as a woman. Like, I'm reading things. You know, improve yourself. Become an amazing, unforgettable woman. So when they come back, they're like, whoa. They already know that you are the kingdom spouse. God will reveal that to them. But it's even more attractive when you're like this, like, wow, kingdom spouse. You know what I mean? So stop just focusing all on them. Pull back. God's going to show them. And when they come back, be this like radiant beam of light, because you're so in love with yourself and God, you're so in love with God that when they come, they can't help but resist. So anyways, that's all I want to share. Have a great day.